Co.uk. COVID mutant strain found in Denmark, in the Netherlands, and even in Australia. Now, on top of all of that, we have to start asking the question, is it any different from the prior COVID strain? And if so, in what way? Well, according to a few articles there on the BBC, which I'm about to show you, there is at least a little reason for concern. Take a look at this article on the BBC.com. New coronavirus variant. What do we know? The article goes on to state, why is this variant causing concern? Three things are coming together that mean it is attracting attention. The first, it is rapidly replacing other versions of the virus. The second, it has mutations that affect part of the virus, likely to be important. And third, some of the mutations have already been shown in the lab to increase the ability of the virus to infect cells, as all of these come together to build a case for a virus that can spread more easily.
Alright, before I get on with this video, I want to first and foremost give all acknowledgement to Yahweh Bashim Shai, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, the men who I learned His truth from. And I also want to give a shalom, Yahweh Bashim Shai, Barakatham to the hopefully elect, whomever they may be. Basically, I was watching this video by Lisa Haven. She's just basically going into the new strain, the mutated strain of virus. That's plaguing the earth right now. But in this video, she mentioned a point that inspired me to do this video, because for the simple fact, all right, you still got a lot of people in that spirit of optimism, people, because put it like this, I was meditating earlier today about being in this truth, or Slakia, not being in this truth, all right, just being another walking zombie, so to say, out here, hypothetically speaking. I wasn't in the truth, and with everything that's going on, I was thinking to myself, if I wasn't in this truth, and with this pandemic going on and everything, what my mindset would be, and it would more than likely be the mindset of the mindset of these people, the majority of these people, just concerning, basically, waiting it out, because like I said, a lot of people are still in that spirit of, things that eventually get back to normal, eventually, get the old lives back and things of that nature, and again, all right, as is, been brought out time in and time out, concerning going back to the old normal. All right, that way of life is done. It's done with. All right, things aren't getting back to normal, and again, because what you're seeing is a transitioning into the new world order. Like I said, it's been brought out, all right, time in and time out. All right, this whole C virus crisis, it's been the perfect scapegoat for these elites to issue in their new world order. All right, it's been the perfect scapegoat when you look at it from a when you're outside the box, thinking outside the box. All right, it's the perfect scapegoat. So I'm gonna let this continue to play out, then I'll get to the point.
But what exactly do we know about these particular strains or mutant strains of the virus? Well, one of the strains is described in this way on that same report, and I quote, "Studies by the same group suggest the deletion makes antibodies from the blood of survivors less effective at attacking the virus." Now, the good news is according to that report and many others, they are saying that this strain is not any deadlier, nor does it make one any sicker than the COVID COVID-19 virus. At least that is what they are saying they believe at this point in time. Now, the other thing to think about, and it's just very interesting, is this particular strain just so happens to surface at the same time as this vaccine. But according to Joe Biden's pick, or his
Yeah, that's another thing because, like you said, this new strain just so happened to come out right around the time of these vaccines, you know, and um, and the question people would ask would be about the vaccines. Would it be able to would it be effective against this new strain? All right. So, of course, they got to quickly come out and say they got to put that out there, basically not to worry. This this vaccine more than likely will be effective against this new strain. All right, because again, they're putting up the narrative that this new mutated strain is not as deadly as the C, the original C virus and everything. So they got to quickly put that out there concerning the vaccines. All right, because if it wasn't effective, there will be no people. There will be no point in people getting it. All right.
Nominee for Surgeon General, they are saying that they believe this vaccine will work against that as well. Take a look at this article here on USA Today. Fast-moving new coronavirus strain in England raises alarms. But the article goes on to state this: Biden's nominee for Surgeon General on Sunday urged Americans not to let concerns over the new strain shake their faith in the vaccination. There's no reason to believe that vaccines that have been developed will not be effective against this virus as well, Murthy said on NBC's Meet the Press. Ever get the feeling that these mandates, masks, and measures that they've put in place as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic are...
So this is kind of where it gets interesting, and like I said, this is what the point that she's about to bring out. This is what inspired me to do this video, because and she's going to bring up the 9/11, or she's going to bring that up, but like with any major event that takes place, all right, with that, they issue in a lot of these laws and legislations and things of that nature, for future. Just so that they can have them in place, for any type of event in the future. All right.
Never going away. You see, the truth of the matter is, I have been warning about this ever.
And a lot of these guys, and gals, they just to put this out there, because a lot of them, they talk about how they've been giving out the warnings. They've been saying these things for months and years or whatever, but in reality, all right, they've been watching the prophets, and more so the men of great millstone, all right, because the men of great millstone, all right, beginning with the apostles and elders and all the men on down, all right, the elders, they really go into these different events, all right, different news and articles and things of that nature, really break things down, tie things into the scriptures, right? And they've been doing this for years. So a lot of these guys that are, they speak these things, they, kind of take credit for a warning. They say they've been giving out the warnings and whatever, but more so they've been watching the prophets, the men of, and more so the men of great millstone, because best believe the people are watching the Hebrew Israelites, and again, even more so the men of great millstone. All right, so just wanted to put that out there.
Since the pandemic began, and even before, once we give up our freedoms, very rarely, if ever, do we ever get them back. Take, for example, September 11th, when they implemented all these new rules and measures at the airports. They are still in place today.
Yeah, because like I said, a lot of these rules and things that they put in place, in a lot of cases, it's only supposed to be temporary. Like with the lockdowns, all right, it was going back to the first lockdowns, it was only supposed to be for a few weeks, but it ended up being a few months, all right. But um, like they're doing now. You know, things are going back on lockdown and whatever. And it eventually, you know, because they're going to give you a little time frame, whatever. But again, eventually, because these laws and things that they're going to put into place is going to be permanent. All right, and again, you know, because this is going to be the new way of doing things. All right, because like I said, concerning going back to the old way of life, that way is done with. All right, that's over. All right, so this is why, you know, these Esau, you know, they put these things into place, you know, to have them in place, you know. And again, you know, this is going to be the new normal. All right.
How about some of the questionable stuff that they've been doing, like the Patriot Act and the warrantless searches, right, on the American public? Guess what? Those are still in place today.
Because like I said, you know, all right, a lot of this stuff that they put into place is, for the most part, a lot of it's only supposed to be for temporary, for a certain amount of time, but a lot of them are still into place today. All right, and it's going to be that way with these new draconian laws and regulations and things concerning these viruses as it mutates. All right. And again, you know, because that's going to be the new way. That's going to be the new normal, as the elders that I've been watching. All right, that's, you know, as they've been bringing it out throughout this year. All right, this is going to be the new normal.
And now we've got all these massive mandates and measures. So every time we have a pandemic, no matter how many people it's or how deadly it is or not, we could be seeing these measures off and on, if not permanently in place. You see, because there's always going to be a new strain of some sort of virus, just like the flu. It changes and manipulates every single year.
So again, you know, because you know, as these viruses and whatnot, as they progress and mutate and things of that nature, basically the threat is always going to be there. All right. So again, you know, because like I said earlier, you know, this crisis, all right, the sea crisis is the perfect scapegoat for them to give them the excuse to, you know, it justifies them on the different, you know, unrighteous laws and decrees that they put out. All right, it's the perfect scapegoat. All right, because even more, like I said, you know, but now that this virus is mutating, all right, you know, because they even said even people that take the vaccine, all right, they still got to wear face masks and social distance and things of that nature. All right, because there is no going back to the old way of doing things. Like I keep saying, that way is done with. All right.
I have been warning and warning, and now we are faced with another yet new strain. But remember, so far, they are saying it's not any deadlier, at least what they're claiming at this point, than the regular COVID-19 virus, which, by the way, we're at like a 99.8, 99.9, 99.4. Depends on what your age group is, according to the CDC, which is little to none reason to panic and close down a country, in my opinion. Anyhow, I love all of you.
Yeah, and not just the country, the world. All right, they're about to shut down the world. You know, it's the name the New World Order. All right, they're about to shut this whole planet down. All right, and like it's been said, you know, the C, this new strain is not as deadly as the you know, the original C virus. All right, but again, just for the fact that the threat is still there. All right, it justifies them so that they can, you know, keep these draconian unrighteous laws into place. All right, and this is why, you know, because again, you know, when you look at it, man, who wants to this isn't life, man. Who wants to live life wearing stupid face mask and, you know, military checkpoints and because that's what's coming. All right, they just started and you know, Lord's will do a video on it, but out there in I think it's Ohio. All right, they're getting ready. Well, basically, Lord's will do a video on it, but basically, you know, because again, it's going to be set up to where they have military checkpoints and things of that nature. All right, rationing of food and stuff like that. Who wants to live like that? You know, and this is why, you know, we got to get out of here, man. So I'll go ahead and get into the scriptures. All right, because again, even more so now, you still got people that, you know, mocking and scoffing, you know, talking about, you know, basically, you know, calling us conspiracy theorists and things of that nature. All right, when these things are becoming a reality, you know, you talk about the New World Order and, you know, all these things, you know, people are still, you know, labeling it, you know, just a conspiracy theory. But let me get this verse here in Psalm 64. It's verse 1. It says, "Hear my voice, O Most High, in my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy." Why? Because reading verse 2, "Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity." Because again, there is a plot. All right, these elites, the elites of this world. All right, they have an agenda, and like I keep saying, this C virus is the perfect scapegoat for them to issue in. You know, it's because it's really the agenda of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. All right, you know, and because the Lord is not, you know, He's going to allow them, these elites, to get so far with it, you know, and accomplish so much. All right, because a part of that agenda, all right, when you look into it, like reading or the reading of the Georgia Guidestones, maintaining humanity under 500, I think it was 500 million, if I'm not mistaken. All right, which means depopulation, you know, killing off a lot of people. All right, that's part of the agenda. All right, you know, because they believe that the earth is overpopulated, which that is far from the case. All right, you could fit, there's a roughly 8 billion people on the planet. You could fit the world's population on one continent. All right, so that's far from the case. Far from the case. The earth hasn't even been fully discovered yet. All right. But yeah, you know, there is a plot, and this is what people, you know, this is why, you know, people call us conspiracy theorists and nut jobs and all this other stuff. All right. Because again, you know, we speak about these things, how there is a plot, there is an agenda to issue in this new world order. All right. And, you know, in it, all right, it's because it's about complete control at the end of the day for the elites. All right. They want complete control. All right. They want to control your thoughts, your, you know, they want to know what you're thinking. They want to know everything, you know, down to the molecular cell or whatever, man. They want to know everything. They want complete control. All right. So this is why, again, you know, they're issuing in all these different draconian laws and measures and things of that nature. All right. To get control of the people. All right. And this is why, like I said, man, we got to get the hell up out of here. You know, we don't want things to get better. You know, if you're in the right spirit, the right frame of mind, you don't want things to get better. You want things to continue to spiral out of control, because eventually it will. See, what Esau doesn't know is he's setting his own self up for the kill. All right. Eventually his own counsel is going to, basically take him out. All right. He's going to end up destroying himself. You know. But nevertheless, all right, this is why we pray to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai constantly, you know, not to let these devils to fulfill their enterprise, as you know, as it says in the scriptures. You know, because if they did, man, we'd all be done. You know, as I say often, you know, hypothetically speaking, if the Lord didn't write it out to where, you know, we get salvation, if let's just say hypothetically that, you know, these elites actually went through with their new world order, you know, we'd all be done, man. You know, if he was able to accomplish that which he desired, all right, we all be done. We'd be through. You know, and this is why we gotta, man, we gotta go, man. Let's see what this says here real quick. Isaiah 5 and 19. Isaiah 5 and 19, I'll read this real quick. It says, "That say, let him make speed and hasten his work, that we may see it. Yeah, because ultimately, like I said, those in the faith, man, we're patiently waiting on the kingdom, man. We're waiting on salvation. The scriptures talk about hastening the day. All right. We encourage Esau, man, to make their moves, man. Do what they got to do. All right, because again, ultimately, like I said, his own counsel is going to end up destroying him. He's going to fall by his own devices, and that's going to issue in the kingdom. All right. So this is why, again, we hasten the day, man. We can't, we just, in our spirit, man, we just want things to hurry up and things to pick up. All right, which it is, you know. Reading on it says that we may see it, and let the counsel of the Holy One of Israel draw nigh and come, that we may know it. Yeah, because ultimately this is the agenda of Yahweh Shem Shai. Ultimately, all right. Yeah, because like I said, these elites, they have their own little plans agenda, like depopulation and killing off a lot of people. But ultimately, that goes against the will of Yahweh Shem Shai. So like I said, because they're only going to get so far with it. The Lord is going to allow them to get so far with it. All right. Get this in Psalms 83. Psalms 83 and 3 says, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. So you see that counsel, all right, because there is a plot, there is an agenda, and we're currently living in this transition into the New World Order, all right, where we're living in the ushering in of the New World Order. We're currently living in it. You're witnessing it, all right. Slakia, be right back. Slakia about that. So reading Psalms 83 and 3 again, it says, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. All right. Because even more so, the hidden ones, is going into the nation of Israel. All right. Because again, part of that agenda is wiping out the nation of Israel. All right. As long as there's one Israelite man around, all right, there'll always be a threat to the New World Order. All right. As long as there's one Israelite man, as long as there's one so-called Black, Hispanic, or Native American Indian man around, all right, there will always be a threat to the New World Order. All right. And this is why, again, part of that agenda is wiping us out, as a people, as a nation, completely. All right. And this is part of that crafty counsel. All right. And that crafty counsel. All right. Because, Esau being a skilled hunter, cunning in his work, deceptive, he's smart with it, spraying chemtrails in the air and pesticides in the foods and GMO food, and then, all this other poison. All right. This is all a part of that counsel. All right. So for people to, continue to make these statements about, the Israelites being conspiracy nuts and stuff like that. All right. I mean, not in the business of, convincing anyone. This message is really only for the elect anyway. So, it is what it is, man. Because, after you do this long enough, man, it gets frustrating, but it is what it is, man. Let's get this in Job 18. And in 5, it says, yea, the light of the wicked shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine. Because again, eventually the Lord will hear, he will act on the prayers the supplications of the saints, all right? Because again, you know, if you're in the right spirit, man, you're crying out to Yahweh Shem Shai to destroy these people, man. You know, let not these devils fulfill their wickedness. You know, this is what we're asking the Lord, man, not to let these devils succeed in their plans. All right, because again, you know, part of that plan is the extermination of so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. All right, jumping to verse 7, it says, "The steps of his strength shall be straightened, and his own counsel shall cast him down." All right, so you see, because again, you know, eventually his own devices will destroy him. All right, he's setting his own self up for the kill. All right, let me get this. Was that Psalms 33 and 10? It says, "Yahweh bringeth the counsel of the heathen to naught. He maketh the devices of the people of none effect." So you see that, you know, all the time and money, resources spent, all right, into, you know, establishing this new world order. Eventually, it's all going to be for nothing. Eventually, we'll come to that point where it's all for nothing, you know. And these elites, man, they're already pissed off, all right, because being the fact that, you know, in their mindset, because like I said, they spend all type of money, resources, and things to keep us in a state of sin, a state of slumber. But here it is, you got Israelites all around the planet, man. Israelites or have woken up. Jake has woken up all around the earth, man. They know that they're Israelites, all right? And that's something that, you know, they can't stand to see, all right? They hate to see a once nigger, a once Puerto Rican, a once Cuban, you know, referring to their lineage, their true lineage, all right? They can't stand to see that. You know, because like I said, as long as there's one Israelite man around, you know, there's always going to be that threat to the New World Order. All right. So yeah, man. Again, this is why eventually, man, their own, because also on another note, you know, basically this whole internet thing. I mentioned this in a previous video, but this whole thing with the internet, all right, though it was created for wickedness, all right. Again, you know, that's just one of those things. You know, it set them up because again, how more so, the truth being pushed throughout the earth. All right, one of the main resources, the main tools that was used was the internet. All right, again, that's one of the devices of Esau that he used for wickedness. He created it for wickedness, but again, it was set up for his own demise. All right, because Israelites is waking up around the world, man. All right, you know, Esau's plans are being exposed around the world. People are waking up all over. You know, and that the internet has a major part to do with that. So you see, that's just one of, you know, a small example of how his own devices, you know, being taken by his own devices, or his own counsel being, you know, setting him up. You know, you get this in Psalms 2, because I mentioned, you know, this, you know, when they see stuff like this, man, it pisses them off. Psalms 2 and 1, it says, "Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing?" Yeah, because like I said, you know, when it comes to their whole new world order and the agendas, the plans that they got set up, all right, you know, it's all vain, it's all vanity. All right, you know, because like I said, if it doesn't go according to the will of Yahweh Shem Shai, then the Lord's not going to allow it to come to pass. You know. And again, you know, because the Lord's always constantly throwing monkey wrenches into the plans. He's always, you know, throwing them back. You know, they're always getting thrown back and set back and things of that nature. You know, that's, you know, another reason why they're always, you know, they get pissed off at, you know, frustrated and things of that nature. All right, because they can't really get it off the ground, you know, sooner than they want, so to say. You know, certain things have to play out and things of that nature. You know, because again, it's all according to the will of Yahweh Shem Shai. The Lord is in control of this movie. All right. But verse 2 says, "The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against Yahweh and say, and against his anointed, saying." So again, you know, just showing the point that, you know, these elites, all right, they definitely do take counsel and, you know, come together, these secret meetings and things of that nature against Yahweh Shemel Shai against the saints. All right. You know, because again, you know, for the people that think that there is not a plot going on, there is not an agenda going on. All right. For people to think that there's not a, you know, what do you call it, like a deep state or you know, workers behind the scene and things of that nature. All right. There's a lot of things going on than what the media shows us. All right. You know, there's a lot of things that are going on behind closed doors, so to say, you know, that we're not privy to, we're not even aware of, you know, because if we were privy to it, man, it would probably bug us out, you know, being that, you know, the Esau being the wicked devil that he is, man, and the evil plots and schemes that he's got, man. And if the Lord set it up to where we know everything that these devils going on, man, it probably bug us out, man. You know, it will probably put great fear on us because they do got stuff. They do work out a lot of things behind closed doors, man. You know, and again, this is why, you know, it's crucial, man, that we continue to stay prayed up to Yahweh Shem Shai, man, and the Lord, you know, comes in and brings these peoples down, man. You know, all the stuff that they got schemed up, all the wickedness that they've got in the background, man. You know, so that's pretty much it, you know. Actually, slack it because I had this saved up. I might as well get it. Again, concerning this enterprise, this new world order, all right. Job 5:12, it says, "He disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise." And again, you know, because like I've brought it out, you know, their counsel is going to be to their own demise. It's going to be to their own destruction. All right, it says, verse 13, "He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward is carried headlong." So you see, let me read this, verse 15. It says, "But he saveth the poor from the sword." All right, and that poor is going in, going in more so about the elect. All right, because again, the elect are crying out to Yahweh Shem Shai constantly, you know, constantly bugging the Lord to do something, you know, because again, if these devils were to fulfill their enterprise, you know, that we'd be done, you know. Verse 15 again, it says, "But he saveth the poor from the sword, from their mouth and from the hand of the mighty." All right, and again, it's going to these elites, man, because they got their military tanks and weapons and technology and stuff like that. You know, they have all that stuff, man. And again, it will be to, concerning the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indians, it will be to their detriment. So this is why, you know, we don't want them to fulfill the New World Order. They're going to get far, all right? They're going to be able to, you know, get to a certain point. But again, ultimately to fulfill the word of Yahweh Shem Shai, and then that's it, all right? Because once they're taken down, that it ushers in the kingdom, salvation, all right? So hopefully this was edifying, you know, because like I said, man, just basically sum it all up, you know, because we're not going back to the old way of doing things, all right? These elites, all right, they are currently issuing in this enterprise, this new world order as we speak, all right? It is currently being ushered in, and again, you know, that's just not going to be the way to live, man, with these draconian laws and measures and things of that nature. You know, nobody wants to live like that. You know, why would you? So this is why we cry out to Yahweh Shem Shai to, you know, bring this place down, you know. So that was it, you know. Hopefully it was edifying. Once again, I'm going to give all credit to Yahweh Shem Shai, double honors to the apostles and others of great millstone. And until next time, Lord's will, I say shalom.